Do you know that Newcastle United has spent 92 seasons in the English Premier League, having produced players like Kevin Keegan, Alan Shearer, Noberto Solano, and Andy Cole, and they have to spend 69 years for them to lay their hands on a major domestic trophy, and it happened on March 17, 2025. I'm sure this date is going to be etched in the heart of every Magpie on Tennyside. And welcome to another edition of the Offside. Nene. Yesterday, Wembley turned upside down.
Yeah.
You could see emotion, unbridled tears, passion in the eyes of the Newcastle United fans.
That is football. If people are asking what do you guys see in football, that moment for the Newcastle United fans is exactly what we see in football. The celebration, the moment, the times when we don't need to know each other, but we share in the same pain, we share in the same passion and the same joy. That was everything. Alan Shearer was in the stadium yesterday and he was so happy. That is how much it meant to the players of like Issa, Tripla, and Bond. They were so happy. And Bruno, it's not Bruno. This player is a player that
Joelinton, yeah,
he was
Joelinton.
so happy.
It was phenomenal. And our the young player from Arsenal that joined them also. I'm telling you.
So happy, look, everybody. I was so happy for them. I really wanted them to, win with over Liverpool, even though they were the one that knocked us out of the league. So I was happy.
Talking about emotion and how to celebrate, the victory yesterday and the passion and emotion that exuded in the hearts and minds of Newcastle United fans only reminds me of August 3rd, 1996 at Sanford Stadium in Georgia, Atlanta, when the Nigerian team won the first Olympic major trophy. The entire nation, Africa, erupted with joy.
And that is how football unites.
I'm telling you.
And it also bringing back, even though Leon Star didn't qualify, didn't win the Nations Cup, but the year we went into
yes, you could see how the entire nation.
And when we win certain games, you see how much the entire
even the draw against Ivory Coast was sublime.
So much to people, and everybody came as one, forgetting religion, forgetting tradition,
Tribal,
forgetting
party,
everything,
divide,
politics, everything, career, class, everything we forget, and we all celebrate as one. That is what that explains when people say football unites us. That is exactly it. And I'm so happy for Newcastle, honestly, and I'm happy Liverpool lost.
So
that's shocking because they are giving us pain.
I know, right?
So it's only fear.
I know, right? Okay, now, what did you notice in that victory yesterday for the Magpies? How were they able to rattle Liverpool? Because you could see that they rattled Liverpool. Liverpool were unsettled. Yeah. They couldn't find their reading until towards the dying minutes of the game. So what did you see? Because I know what I saw in that game yesterday. What did you see from your part?
It was kudos to the coach. It was a game plan. Even though we know all the style of Newcastle, they are very physical. They are good at low blocks. So, but yesterday they put the low block a little bit aside and go and face Liverpool. They opened the game, played very well. They were so physical. At some point, I was even saying that they were. This Brazilian player that even pushed down
Bruno Guimaraes.
No, Guimaraes.
Guimaraes, yes.
No,
it's Bruno Guimaraes.
Yes. So yes. Like the way he
was the captain too.
Yeah. That player was so energetic. It was so
even Sandro Tonali.
Yes.
What I saw, Nene, I saw a team of leaders.
Absolutely.
Pack of leaders. The entire pitch was littered with leaders from the goalkeeper Nick Pope to everyone, Kieran Trippier, everyone.
So it shows that no matter the smallest of team, if everybody is in their best, if everybody wants the same team, That's the good thing about teamwork. If we all come together, we go for the same goal. We
And
are
they're
going to take down
purpose-driven,
any team.
any team. Yeah.
Even if it was Real Madrid yesterday, the way that Newcastle played, they should have defeated them.
Even the goal they scored, they still
Yes.
nicked it. It was just they were lucky not to have gotten that
Absolutely.
offside call. You know?
They played very well. The players were all responsible. This is what I said, that sometimes it's not the coach, sometimes it's the player carrying the game as their responsibility. At some point, Tayeni even said that if Arsenal, you know, everybody's ready, everybody believes in defeating Real Madrid, we are going to defeat Real Madrid. And that is what Newcastle showed. They defeated, they made Liverpool look like, you ask yourself, is this the Liverpool that is on top of the Premier League table?
Yeah.
Because they make them look like they are playing Ipswich Town. They dominated the game throughout.
They had
every
the entire
aspect.
players had fire in their belly.
Absolutely.
They were ready, they were up for it.
Absolutely. It was a very beautiful match yesterday. Although Liverpool were poor, but it was good. I love the energy that I saw.
Anyway, kudos to the Magpies. I know the Tannyside chef is now having a Carabao trophy.
Yeah.
And kudos to them. And Eddie Howe, you've come a long way, did well with Bournemouth,
Yeah.
and somehow you've shown that you are a coach that is formidable with your tactical know-how. I want to say, okay, thanks to the likes of Kevin Keegan, to the likes of Alan Shearer. He was right there at the stadium. His scarf fell off from his neck and he's so happy. You know, it was lit with a lot of
Another
emotions
part that I
and joy.
enjoyed is when the game was coming to an end. You see that Newcastle didn't care to score goals again. What they were doing is, it was very painful for opposition fans.
They
They were keeping the ball going into the corner side of Liverpool, and when the players, they tried to kick the ball on Liverpool players so to go down to corner. Like, they do that about 3 times. I was like, these people are crazy. Why not doing though?
Anyways, that's congratulations to them. Congratulations to them. That's what it takes to wait 69 years before they could put their hands on a trophy.
I'm so happy.
Liverpool waited for close to 30 years before they could win the Premier League again. And Arsenal, 21 years, we know we are going to do it.
Yeah.
That is what we talk about, believe. Believe. Robbie will say believe. I'm saying believe. But before we believe, Kronkes, you need to leave this Arsenal. Anyways, talking about the Kronkes is international break. And we want to look at what happened in England. Some players that were seen as players that will never return to England are back in the squad. And what is Thomas Tuchel doing? Inviting the likes of Rashford. Why did he play in Aston Villa that earned him a call-up?
Well, I think that even as much as Rashford hasn't been his best this season, but we can take the fact that he's a very good player.
But we're talking about current form.
I know,
that is why you have the likes of
but
Miles Kelly
listen,
coming into the
if
team.
we are talking about current form and players that played very well, like at some point Maguire shouldn't be in the English team, in the English squad at some point, especially the past 2 seasons. But then again, it goes to the point where United, there are players that choose the country,
But
that are willing to die for their
I'm not cutting you short. For Maguire, I think it has to do with leadership quality in the national team. Even though he's not exhibiting that in the club side.
Even though that, but at some point as well, it is having passion for the team, for the badge that you wear, and Rashford has that for England. So I think it's a good thing, and it's unfortunately Saka was off, because I think that if Saka was not injured, Rashford shouldn't have had his chance. But I'm happy that he has his chance, and I pray that he is able to get a position, because he has dealt with so much for the whole United thing. So I'm happy he gets called back to this English squad, and I pray he's able to deliver.
Okay, talking about delivering, I'm so happy with 2 key decisions that Thomas Tuchel made. One is giving Dan Burn the opportunity to play for England, inviting him to the national team. Dan Burn is a player, you hardly give him his flower, but he's a formidable midfielder. And I recall Thierry Henry saying that the guy is a good player.
And he was the one that actually won the.
Yeah, he scored the first goal.
Yes.
He scored the first goal for them.
He's a good
He was defending, he was attacking, he was just everywhere for Newcastle United.
And these are players the teams need.
And the other one has to do with, if you know your onion, just like the Bible says, it says, seest thou a man who does what? How did the Bible say? It says, seest thou a man that does what? That you will die with kings. That is exactly what happened to Lewis Kelly. See, Lewis Kelly has the opportunity, having shown his prowess for Arsenal. Finally, he's going to be playing for the Three Lions.
Yeah, I must
What
say,
do you have to say
I
about
felt
that?
bad that Waneri wasn't able to make it through, but I believe he will have his chance. But I'm so happy for Skelly. I am really, really happy for him. He totally deserves this. With what he has been playing for Arsenal, with the passion, the energy, the vibe, the fire that he has inside, I think it's a good thing. I am so happy and proud of him. He really deserves this. And thanks to Thomas for giving him and other players the opportunities as well. And Bonnie actually deserves this as well. These players have been good. I just hope that someday Ben White can find himself.
Yes, talking about Ben White, he mentioned that he had a discussion with Ben White, but it's just because Ben White is returning from injury, he's ready and willing to play for England again. I think Ben White initially wasn't happy with the former hierarchy.
He said that the problem he had was with Southgate, and you can't prevent that. There are players that have issues with coaches that affected them, their career, and with the team or the club. So I just wish them well. I wish Ben well with the English squad, and I hope that in the next international break he got his call up.
Wishing them well, and we are going back again to Manchester United. Anthony of Manchester United playing for Real Betis now, scoring 4 assists and scoring 4 goals in 8 matches, said the reason he's not finding the shooting boot at United or Old Trafford is because of the weather. And the question now is, are you the only one playing in England? Every other player from England, from the US, from South America, everyone are playing in the same weather. He says it's the same weather. That maybe the weather is sunny in Europe now, in Spain now, I don't know. He says the weather that affected his playing style. So what do you have to say about this? Because I'm beginning to wonder how weather, you are a footballer, you are meant to play in under any weather conditions.
He's from a tropical country because Brazil is not that
cold, yeah.
But there are fellow Brazilians that are playing very well. The likes of Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing very well.
Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Magalhães,
Gabriel Martinelli and Gavi. They are playing very well. And others Brazilians, Bruno Gomes and others that are playing for English side, they are doing very well. So what's up, Anthony?
So the guy said it's the weather.
I was rooting for him giving these excuses.
So he said it's the weather.
That's not an excuse, bro.
So, Anthony, we wish you well, in as much as Nene doesn't like United. She doesn't want to hear anything United. But we're wishing you well, that you continue to score, continue to find your shooting range. And if you know what is good for you, just stay back.
Exactly.
I understand that Real Betis said, look, we want to keep him. So United should just allow the young man to be there, because already he has told you the weather is not good conducive for him. So what's
he's finding reasons not to go back to United, which is good. If he's finding reasons and not complaining, it's good. Do not go back, because United is going to bring you down. Nothing good comes out from the devil.
I know, right? Nothing good comes out from the devil. And I want to say this is how we've been on this edition of Offside. I don't know if Nene has anything to say to the viewers.
Yes, Ramadan Karim, and it's the international break. Let's play our key players come back to their various leagues without injuries, and let's enjoy the rest of the international break.
Yes, let's enjoy the rest of the international break. Yes, we know it's the international break, but here we're still going to be doing a whole lot of stuff. And don't forget, on this edition, we want to also remind you that the Arsenal Sierra Leone football supporters chapter will be having their dinner on April 25th at the Court. And you just need to ensure that you get your ticket. If you've not gotten your ticket, you need to rush to Jeff Babin Saloon at the lodge to get your ticket, or you go to Freetown Supermarket on Wilkinson Road to get your ticket. Just go there and tell them you want the Arsenal fundraising dinner. You'll be given your ticket. And until then, we want to encourage you that we're building a community together. where we are today because you are supporting us. Don't stop supporting us. We say, cheerio, it is the offside.